Okay, so welcome. We're on week 4 of our sun salutations for the runner's body. So we've been doing, last week we were doing more find space for the hip flexors, the back leg that kind of does the driving through in terms of the running. This week we're kind of looking at more lighter feet. So we're doing a little bit of jumping. But again, these are all options, and I'll explain as we go through. So we're just going to start. So I've just come to you've got my side view. So we'll see how we go with that, but I can turn to the front as well. So just extend your arms up towards the sky and just feel the length through your body. So you just get a sense of an uplift. Side body feels like it's lengthening. You can feel your rib cage, and you can feel that sense of heading for the sky kind of thing through the hands. So you don't need to overdo it, but there's just a sense of lift and lightness in the upper body. Okay, and then just gently let the arms relax for a moment. Okay, and then I'm just going to raise one knee to hip height. So we'll try this with arms in different positions. So if you keep the knee broadly there, just take the arms out to the side with the palms down, relaxing the shoulders, and there you'll get a little bit more sense of balance, perhaps, if you've got the arms out to the side. And if you keep the knee there for a little bit longer, just bringing the hands into together more like a prayer mode in front of the sternum, and just make sure you're not collapsing in the front of the chest, so we're extended. Okay, one more move. We're just going to take the arms back up again, so you can always bring your foot down, you know that. The ground is always there for you. And breathing. And breathing. Arms down by the side if you've got space, foot back down to the ground, and land. Okay, well done. So that's quite quick to come into balance. So I didn't give you much kind of preparation, so well done. So just have a little bit of a shake out. So hands, wrists, elbows, shoulders bouncing from the feet if you can. So that means the knees bend, feel a little bit of change in the hips, a little bit of a bend in the hips. And you feel a bit more weight going through both legs. And you get a little bit more work going through the diaphragm. So just allow that to happen, because you may not have been breathing when we did that. Possible, it's possible, or very light breathing because you didn't want to fall over. So I know we've only done one side. This is just kind of an intermediate coming back and just seeing how it is on your second side. And just coming to a still place. Feeling the body hopefully warmed up a bit now and a little bit more engaged. So we're going to go to the second side, but we'll just do as we did before. We'll just take the arms up just to get that length. So breathing in here and just get a little bit more of a lift as you breathe in. And then breathing out, just relaxing the shoulders down, relaxing the rib cage down a little bit. And again, breathing in. And softly breathing out. One more breath in. And the shoulders relax down, rib cage comes down a little bit on the breath out. And the rest of the arms come down for now. Okay, and relax. So we're going to come on to our second foot, as it were. So lifting the opposite knee up now. So you might be able to see it easier from this side. So the knee comes out just in front of the hip, really there. Okay, so we're going to try our positions in terms of hands. So see how it feels in prayer. We'll do it in a different order. Prayer mode, hands into the front of the sternum. And then arms out to the side if you've got space to do that. And then arms lengthening. Breathing in and breathing out here if you can. Arms back out to the side, and as we take the arms down, take the foot back down to the ground. Well done. With a little bit of a shake. Get the shoulders going up and down, get the legs moving, get the feeling of the feet really reconnecting to the earth. And just letting the diaphragm have a little bit of a move. So the whole sense of body kind of really enlivening and getting some energy. Okay, so we're going to again calm that down, and then we're just going to come more into a twist just to change the body movement a little bit. So soften the knees a little bit and just take the hand to the front of the belly and the kidney area, lower back. And just feel a little bit more freedom in the spine now. We've been lengthening through the spine. Now we're getting a little bit more energy through movement, through a twist. So keeping the sense of the spine feeling lengthened like we did when we took the arms up. Just getting a little bit of connection into the body through the movement, through the hip movement ideally. So just take your attention to the center of the body for a moment. Let the arms just kind of spin around. Hip movement, almost like the drive comes through the hip, and the other hip, and the other hip. Okay, and again, just slow that down, slow that down, slow that down. Great. Okay, so we are going to be on one leg again. So I know it can be challenging. So I'm coming more towards the back of the mat. Hopefully you can still see me. So I'm going to be coming on to, again, lifting the knee up to the hip. And then you can take your arms out to the side to get balance. And then it's kind of like as if you're tipping your toes into water, you're lengthening through the leg, straightening and just tipping your toe downwards. Toes, as if you're just dipping into some water just below you. You raise the knee, dipping the toe in, raising the knee, dipping the toe in, raising the knee. Okay, so try and breathe, try and relax the shoulders and the jaw. Not always easy. You need to keep a point ahead of you that you can kind of know is going to be stable, and therefore it helps you just support by having your gaze somewhere where you feel like you can focus and get the support. Okay, next time the knee comes up, the foot can go then down and hands just to the chest again, front of the sternum, let the shoulders relax back and down. Just press the hands together for a little bit of stability through that upper body, a bit more lengthening through the front body. Okay, and then relax, have that mini shake out. And we'll try our opposite side. Yes, so arms out to the side, maybe first this time, knee up to hip height, and then you're straightening the leg, dipping the toe in the water, straightening and dipping. Softening again around the shoulders, around the jaw and the eyes, but just keeping your gaze somewhere where you know you've got support, nothing's moving. Yeah, so best not to focus outside at moving trees, else you'll be a moving tree. So a couple more goes. And then foot down, hands back into prayer mode, just in front of the sternum. Relax the shoulders this time down. Yay. Okay. And a little bit of a shake out. Loosen the breath, loosen the diaphragm. Okay, so I might try from the other side. I don't know if you can see more clearly from this side. I'm not sure. Various things get in the way from viewing, don't they? So this time, what we're going to do is going to be stepping forward and stepping back. So we kind of, we're bringing the knee up, we're pointing the toes slightly so that we can come forward and land on the toes or the ball of the foot. We can take the whole foot down and then we lift the heel, push off the ball of the foot and we step back. Yeah, so obviously it depends how far you go forward. The intention is you're going forward, you know, a reasonable way, but you need to just make a gauge of what seems right. So stick with the same leg. So just bringing that knee up. You can always have your arms out to the side, yeah, to give you balance. And then pointing forward a bit like we did before, and then coming forward, landing on your toes, the ball of your foot. Just checking you're okay with your knee, bring your heel down. So the back leg, the back foot, the toes again on the ball of the foot of the back foot here, yeah, that heel is lifted. And then I'm going to push off, I'm going to come up onto the ball of the foot. You can always use your arm swing if that helps to get you back. Just step back. Yeah, okay. Just being really mindful of what's going on in the knee, joints of the ankles, if any vulnerability there, see how you feel in your back. Okay, going to move to the second side. So again, you can have your arms out to the side if you want to. You see what works for you. So initially, taking your knee up to hip height, you're starting to point your toe a little bit further forward, and then you're coming forward to land on your toes, on your ball of your foot, and then you're bringing that heel down. So obviously that front leg's bent, the back heel's off the floor. You come back onto the ball of your foot, and you use that bounce to step back. Yeah, okay. And repeat. So knee up, pointing forward, weight forward onto the ball of the foot and heel down. And then reverse, heel up, push off the ball of your foot to step back. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so we're going to add things in here. So we're going to be go back to your first side. So knee comes up, toes broadly point, and your head to land on your toes here, and then get your heel down. So we're staying here for a moment. We're going to stay here. So from here, just skip your back foot back a little way so that you've got more of a knee above your ankle. So it's more like a lunge here. Bring your belly in towards your back. Okay, so just see how you're going here. So the option here is to stay here, or the other option is to bring the hands back into prayer mode, and we've been doing this a few times, taking the opposite elbow over that front thigh and bringing the belly quite low down, so you get into a bit of a twist here. You can't see me, it's the opposite side. Okay, and then you take the hands back onto the thigh, just so you're facing forward again. So from here, we've got to get back. So coming onto the ball of your front foot, and just seeing if we're further away now, just seeing how this goes. So pushing off with the ball of your front foot to step back. I didn't get all the way back. Yeah, so the further we are away, the more tricky it is to get the momentum to get back. Okay, so second side. So knee up, toe pointing forward, landing forward, get the whole of the foot on the floor. Then just allow the back foot to go a little way back, so you've got more of a sense of coming into a bigger lunge, if you like. Hands into prayer mode, and then opposite elbow to the front of the thigh. Yeah, just getting your balance there. Well done. Or not. Yeah, well done. So you don't need to do that. You can just keep your hands on your thigh. Okay, and then releasing back to face forward, hands on the thigh. Lift that heel off the front foot, get a little bit of momentum, a little bit of push, and step back. That was better on the second side. Okay, well done. This will generate quite a lot of heat. Just again, check how the knees are. We're going to go do a little bit more. So for the pressure going forward, I'm trying to support you going forward by landing on the ball of your foot rather than landing too heavily. It's a bit more bounce there. Okay, so this time, you're going to come back to your first side, bringing the knee up, pointing forward, and taking your leap, landing on the ball of your foot if you can. Okay, so from here, initially we're facing forward, you're going to take your back heel down so you can come into warrior pose, yeah? So it's a bit of a twist, pivoting the back heel down, and then you're facing, maybe facing me or facing away from me, and you're taking your arms out to the side. Yeah, it's warrior, yeah? So that front knee's bent, you might not be able to see it clearly. And from here, we go into side angle. So we head towards the front thigh, bending the elbow. We take the top arm over and we go for length down that top body, yeah? We can look up underneath our armpit, underneath the lower part of our arm, and we can lengthen and find more space on that side body, breathing into it. Brilliant. Okay, use top arm to get you back into warrior. Take your back arm towards the front, pivot on that back foot so you've got the heel off the ground again, your toes facing the same direction as the front, and see if you feel ready to jump back. You don't have to, you can always step forward, but if you can take that front heel up and just see whether you've got momentum to come back. Yes, I only went too far back. You can have such a thing as too much momentum. Okay, well done. I'm just going to come to the opposite side so I can see a little bit more clearly here. Okay, so stepping forward, bringing the opposite knee up and stepping forward, pointing initially, landing on the toes and the ball of the foot, heel down. Pivoting on your back heel, heels down, so that you can then come into warrior. If you need to jump further back in order to get that gap right between the front foot and the back foot, you do. You then come forward into side angle. Yeah, brilliant. Look under the armpit, get the length through that upper body and through that top body, should I say, and breathing into the area around the rib cage. So breathing in there, creating more length, breathing out, just softening a little bit. Okay, using your top arm to get yourself back into warrior. Excellent. Back arm comes to the front. Pivot on that back foot so the heel's off the ground. Arms can come down. Then coming onto the ball of the front foot, I know this is complicated, and then either using your arms or pushing from the feet to get to the back of the mat. Yay! Okay. Most of the hard work's done now. So we will kind of integrate a little bit of that into the sun salutation. See how we go. So before we do that, just again, I think we'll just refresh, not for kind of a little bit for the forward fold. So just briefly, so everybody is kind of familiar with this, where we just sweep the arms back and lengthen. So we're sitting back here, but we take the arms down. So we get a little bit more sense of the forward fold with downhill skiing. So we lengthen and then we take the arms behind us. We take the weight through the feet and the bum goes back. So we get a little bit of work through, just for a second, through the glutes, and we're getting that sense of forward movement. But with the legs will be strong, so we're still keeping and encouraging strength through the legs as we push ourselves back up. It's partly the arms, but it's partly the push from the feet. Okay, so a couple more times. And then just slow that up, slow that up, slow that up. Come to whatever you're classing as the front of your mat. Bring your hands into prayer position, have your feet broadly hip distance apart. Just arrive there for a moment, so your breath might be kind of a little bit, you might feel a little bit out of breath, so just softening the breath, softening around the shoulders and the jaw, the usual hot spots, feeling the feet on the ground. And then when you're ready, releasing the hands, just kind of a little bit of a bend in the knee before sweeping the arms up out to the side if you've got the space, and then folding forward. So we're coming into bent knees, top body over bottom body, crown of the head down. We're then going to take the hands onto the thighs, yeah, and keep the knees bent, extend through the spine, yeah, so the back of the neck's long, before folding back, crown of the head down. Okay, so we're going to step back with one foot. I'm not going to decide for you. So we're back into that lunge kind of position. And from here, just see if you can get yourself steady. And then if you feel safe and steady, then you take your hands off the floor and just bring them to your thigh. A little bit of a wobble there. And we re-engage that option of coming into the twist, so opposite elbow over thigh for a second. You might then duck down a little bit lower with your lunge. Well done. Get your hands securely back onto your thigh and body facing forward. Okay, let's take the fingertips down and then releasing the front leg to the back leg into downward facing dog. So finding your space, coming into downward facing dog and just walking the dog. Yeah, so that just means heel down, then the other heel down, walking. And you have a sense of long spine, tail going up towards the sky, sitting bones as you just walk out, any tightness in the back of the heels, back of the calves. Okay. Okay. So from here, we're going to either step forward or jump forward.
Yeah. So whatever you're doing, my suggestion is you come on to your fingertips, look forward. Now, if you're going to jump forward, then come on to the balls of your feet like we did before, bob up and down. So that just means bringing your knees down and straightening slightly. Lightness in the hips, jump forward. You're heading towards your feet. Yeah. Okay. If you haven't got there, just working your way to step forward. Then bottom down and lengthen all the way back up towards lengthening through the side, through the arms, and then hands back into center. Let your breath come back. Okay, so just pause for a moment. So I got you to do things that you probably weren't quite clear what you're doing. Yeah, so I'll just show you again. So the options down here, when you're in down dog, you can, that still, for me, it helps coming onto my fingertips. It might not for everybody. So you either bring your knee forward and step forward, yeah, and then there'll be the other leg, step forward. Or from here, you do this kind of bunny jump, preparation, and then from there, you see how it goes. And it takes a while to get that lightness, but that's what we're kind of looking for. Okay, second side. So, front of your mat, hands together, soften the shoulders, find your feet, so feeling the earth beneath your feet. Let the breath come and go for 1 or 2 cycles. Great. And then when you're ready, bending the knees, releasing the hands, breathing in to sweep up. Breathing out, arms by your side, folding forward, bending the knees as much as you need to, crown of the head, down towards the sky, down towards the earth. Then taking the hands onto the thigh, keep the knees bent as much as you need to, belly in, spine long. Great. Release back down to your forward fold, and then step back with your opposite leg. So we know we've got an option here to come up, you don't have to. So releasing the hands onto the front thigh, getting your balance. At that point, you make a decision of whether you're going to bring the hands together, opposite elbow to opposite knee to get that twist. Well done, well done. Both hands then release on the front thigh as you face forward again. Great. Take the fingertips to the ground and step back with that front foot, so you're into downward facing dog, palms down for the moment. Again, just walk the dog, so one heel down and the other heel down. Feel more space down the back of the leg, keep the bum up and back, so you've got a leg long through the spine. So decision time, are we going to step? So if none of this is working for you, just pad the hands back towards the feet. If you can, come up onto your fingertips, come up onto the toes and the ball of the feet, bend the knees like you're a jumping rabbit, and let's get jumping. So when you're ready, you've got your bounce, you jump forward, you land, and then you release further down with your bottom into a squat to then lengthen up. Well done. Hands come together and back down to link with your sternum. Get your breath back. And just make sure things feel okay in backs and knees. Great. Okay, so we're going to come down. We're going to come down onto our back just for a bit of recovery for the last 5 minutes or so. So finding your way down to your back, just make sure everything's in recovery. Okay. So I did have the option in my head to either stay up or come down. I decided to come down. So if you want to stay up, obviously do. We could play around a little bit more with what we've been doing. So coming down to your back, and you've got your feet on the floor and your knees bent. Just let your belly soften and let your breath come back to a more regulated pattern, if you like, so that you feel like you've got your breath back if you lost it. And obviously I'm talking and jumping and moving and trying to see you, so my breath might be more out than yours is. Okay,
So just going to bring your right knee in towards you and just take your hands onto your shin. Both hands onto your right shin. And from here, you're just going to flex or dorsiflex your ankle. So this now feels a little bit stronger. Press your ankle in, press your hands into your leg and your leg into your hands so you get a little bit of stability in that center area. Okay, and keeping that stability if you can, just bringing the knees, if there's any room to bring it a little bit closer, and then let it drift away. But there's all the time that tension and resistance between the hand and the shin. So the movement isn't great, yeah, there's not a great range of movement, but you're just trying to get back into feeling, okay, you know, I'm stable again, and I can feel the movement in my back as I do this movement in the pelvis, so the back will soften down and then it'll come into a little bit of an arch as you just keep that support if you can. So there'll be activity going on in the belly to make that happen. So 2 or 3 more times. Next time the leg heads away, let it go. So let it go back to the floor, releasing the hands away from it, and just let everything land and see how that feels. So it might feel different on the right side compared to the left side. You might feel a little bit more stable. Okay, so opposite side, just get your hands onto your shins, engage your foot, flexing or dorsiflexing that, and get the sense of hands pushing away into leg pushing away into hands. So there's that resistance, bringing the knee a little bit closer if it will, so you can soften the back down slightly at least, see how that feels, and then let the knee drift away a little bit further, but you're keeping that containment if you can. So everything on that side feels more stable as the movement still happens. Yeah. So it's, as I say, it's not a huge range of movement, but you know that hopefully you can get to a softer back down and a little bit of an arch, or more than a little bit, depending on your structure. So you can breathe in when your knee goes away and you get a little bit of an arch, and you can breathe out when your knee comes towards you, or you just have a soft breath overlaying the movement. Okay, great. And then let that leg release. Okay, if you've got room to take your arms out to the side, then do. Take the feet wide as the mat, yeah. And let the knees drift over in one direction and land if they can. So you get a little bit more length down the top side of the body from the armpit through to the knee. And then back up to neutral and over to the left side. Landing wherever you land. At the back, release. Okay, and then windscreen wiping between the two. So you choose your speed. You can always take your head in the opposite direction to your knees if that feels comfortable and safe for your neck. If it doesn't, just keep it neutral as you rotate the knees from side to side. And just get a little bit more soft opening as the legs kind of give a little bit of counterweight to allow the lower back to extend and lengthen. So a couple more times each way at your pace. And then just allowing the body to lengthen away for a moment. We've only got a few moments. So let the arms come closer to the body. You can always take your hands on your belly if that's more comfortable, or certainly a lot closer so your shoulders can just relax back down, shoulder blades relax into the ground, but belly can soften here, thighs can soften. And just let the breath be. Don't need to control it now, just let it be. Let the eyes soften and the jaw soften, palms, soles of the feet. A little bit of recovery, a little bit more energy just coming more naturally back to the body. After we've been bouncing along, we can be more still. Okay, folks, so one more deeper breath maybe. little bit of a shakeout if you like a shakeout, or just bring your knees into chest and do a roll. And we're going to leave it there. So if you kind of haven't got the bounce and want to try it through watching the recording, go for it. If you've got the bounce, keep the bounce going as long as it feels safe for the knees and the back. It's a great way of feeling lighter in the hips. So rolling forward or rolling over, and we'll leave it there. Okay, thanks, folks. So next week is the last one in the 5, this series of 5. So